In this installment of What's Up With That, we're talking bed covers. What's up guys, Justin with AmericanTrucks.com, and in this episode we're going to be breaking down the 5 most popular styles of bed covers for your F-150 that you will encounter here on the site. We're talking pros, we're talking cons, and we're even going to walk through the basic operation of each. Now, tonneau cover, bed cover, hard cover, soft cover, no matter what you guys call it, they all exist to serve that one common purpose, and that is protect your stuff, whether it be from the elements or wannabe thieves, or maybe even a combination of both. Now, some options out there are going to be better than others when it comes to all-out protection, and that's another thing we do plan on showing you here in this video. Now, when you first encounter the bed cover category, you're gonna be blown away because there are a ton of options out there. So we boiled them down to the 5 most popular here on the site, including a snapping cover, a folding cover, a rolling hard cover, retractable cover, and yes, even a hinged option. So with all that said, what do you say we get into our first pick? And that is gonna be the most affordable and the most basic snapping soft cover. All right guys, first up we have the Black Max here from X-Tang. Again, that snapping soft cover that we just mentioned. Very nice option in the category, durable thick vinyl here, aluminum rails and aluminum bows to kind of keep some tension on this thing no matter what season or weight you get on the cover itself. Now, snapping covers like this are kind of the OGs in the tonneau or bed cover world. They've been around forever and continue to be popular today because it's a quick and easy way to cover the bed, and best of all, doesn't cost you a lot of dough to do so. Case in point, the Black Max here is kind of the Cadillac in the category, if you will, thanks to the adjustable snaps, and it's still just only 200 bucks, give or take. So very affordable given the product. Now the cons are kind of twofold here, right? If you live in a climate, first and foremost, that sees big swings in temperature, such as the Northeast for instance, you know these snapping covers can be a bit tricky. Why? Well, in the summer when the sun's beating down on that vinyl, tends to stretch out a little bit more, they become a little bit baggy. And in the winter, the opposite can occur, right? That vinyl tends to shrink up on you a little bit when things get cold, and that can make getting these snaps an absolute pain in the you-know-what. Speaking of these snaps, there's 48 of these little guys spread around all 4 sides of your bed here. So if you're the type of truck owner who needs frequent access to the entire bed at a moment's notice, there might be better uses for your time and better covers to consider. Now, the final con really can be said about all soft covers, and that is security. Now, don't get me wrong, a soft cover like this is gonna be a great first line of defense against things like bad weather and prying eyes. However, all it takes is one little knife here, and you're gonna be losing your precious cargo. So, if you wanna dramatically increase the odds about saving your cargo from a wannabe theft attempt, you might wanna consider a hard cover instead. But if you're simply looking to cover the bed on the cheap, soft cover like this is a great way to go. Up next we have what I would argue is probably the most popular style currently in the category, and that is a tri-fold or hard folding cover design. Now the specific model that we do have in this video is from Undercover Flex, and the 5.5 foot option that we're featuring on our F-150 is gonna land right around that mid $800 price point. So obviously a healthy increase over our first option, but kind of be expected whenever you make the switch from a budget-friendly soft cover to something with a little bit more security. Now, most hard covers like this are either gonna utilize aluminum for the panels here. However, the Undercover Flex utilizes what's called FRP, or fiberglass reinforced plastic. And as you might imagine, certainly gonna pass the knife test. So a nice step up, not only in quality, but also security as well. Another big thing I like about this cover is that if you look at it from basically eye level, you can hardly tell it's installed. It sits very flush with the bed rails and makes for a very sleek look once everything's installed. But as the name implies, this cover is all about that folding operation. And honestly guys, it couldn't be any easier to use. Simply yank on this cable to release, and at that point, you can simply start folding this guy up and out of the way. Now you can secure it at this point here if you don't need access to the full bed using these included straps. However, if you do need access to the entire bed at one time, simply fold it up here and use your little prop rods, as you can see, which are included, to kind of clip in, and you're good to go. So very easy to use if you do need full access to the bed in a moment's notice. But it does lead us to, I would say, our one and only con here with the folding cover, and that is your rear window impairment with this guy folded up and out of the way. Personally, I don't think it's a huge deal, especially when you factor in the side view mirrors, and most of these modern trucks have a backup camera anyway, but if it is a big deal to you, you might want to consider our next option instead. However, guys, for my money, these guys are really hard to beat when it comes to popularity and just overall ease of use, and it's why it's continued to be on my last two trucks, including my Raptor. Up next, guys, we have another heavy hitter in the category, and that is the rolling hardcover, this time represented by Back Industries Revolver X2. Yes, again, this is a hardcover, although it might appear a little bit different because technically it's gonna be more of a hybrid. You're getting a durable aluminum slat underneath as a base with this thick, durable vinyl material on top. So yes, it's still gonna pass the knife test, but it will deliver a slightly different look. Price point for this guy is up above 900 bucks, so you're getting up there in the price range, but overall you're getting a very solid product in return. Supports up to 400 pounds, so a lot of weight on this guy, and you're also getting that very flush look with the bed rail, which is something I really dig once these guys are installed. But as the name implies, guys, the Revolver here is all about that rolling design. So let's talk operation. Pop our tailgate, release the cable much like the tri-fold option, and at that point, you're just simply rolling this puppy out of the way. Very easy to use, as you can see, with one person, but it kind of brings us to our first con with this. Now, unlike those folding covers, where you could kind of leave your bed half covered and maybe half open if you had something smaller to haul, with the Revolver here, it's pretty much all or nothing, and at that point, you do secure it with the straps included here if you're on the highway. So just something to keep in mind there. It's, again, pretty much all the way closed, all the way open. There's really no in between. However, with the cover fully open, you can see no impairment out of that rear window when it comes to visibility. Our second and probably final con here with the rolling cover, there's really not a lot to nitpick, is the fact that if you have this thing fully open, you're losing about, I'd say maybe half a foot of bed space because it doesn't totally flip out of the way like that tri-fold cover. So again, very small nitpicks here with the rolling cover. Operation really couldn't be any easier, and you can really get a good look at that aluminum underneath. To close it up, simply do it like the tri-fold. Close your tailgate first because you don't want to damage the seal. Prop it and you're good to go. So I would say the rolling covers here are probably number 2 in popularity behind those hard folding tri-covers that we just talked about. And it's gonna be another solid way to cover your bed, add a lot of security, and provide a very sleek look. Up next, we have the relative new kid on the block in the land of bed covers, at least for this video, and that is the retractable option shown here from Barricade. Now, these guys are really cool because, as the name implies, they simply retract into the base located nearest the cab here, and they do so in a very easy way. Price point's gonna be right around the Revolver and the Undercover Flex tri-fold option, hovering that $800 to $900 range, and you're getting a ton of security here with the Barricade in place. Case in point, burly polycarbonate material, textured matte black finish, so obviously no knife test needed. Besides the stout build of this thing, you're also getting a very cool look, maybe one of the coolest of the bunch here in our video, thanks to that textured matte black finish, and it's also maintaining that very flush finish with the bed rails like we've been pointing out earlier in the video. But let's talk operation here with the retractable cover, and honestly guys, like our previous two covers, really couldn't be any easier. Pop your tailgate, release the latch, and at that point, just simply sliding this guy out of the way. Now, one big thing I do really like about the Barricade, or any retractable cover for that matter, there are adjustable stops along the way. However, you can just stop it at any point. Say you only need access to half of your bed, the other half stays covered, and this guy isn't going anywhere. Now, that wasn't the case with the Revolver because, as you remember, it was kind of all or nothing. And the tri-fold cover, well, you have to kind of roll that out of the way enough or get it all the way up against the rear window. Not the case here with the Barricade. But if you do need access to all of your bed, well, there you go. Now, I gave you the little finger quotes because you're looking at our one and possibly only con here with the retractable cover, and that is the fact that the base takes up I'd say about a good foot, foot and a half of your bed, not just from the cab back, but also into the bed itself. So if you're the type of owner who does haul a lot of big stuff frequently and you can't sacrifice any real estate in your truck bed, a retractable cover like this might not be the best bet for you. However, if you're like most other truck owners out there and can live with a little bed space being occupied by a very cool cover, there's really not a lot to dislike about the retractable. Last but not least, we got the old standby, right? A timeless design that continues to be popular even with the addition of the more modern, more complicated designs like the ones we just talked about. And that is the one-piece hinged tonneau or bed cover like the Undercover SE here. Now this is a one-piece black, about $800 to $900 for the Undercover option. And honestly guys, nothing beats a cover like this when it comes to all-out protection, both from the elements and from wannabe thieves. Now first and foremost, water protection. Well listen, unlike those rolling covers or those folding covers, there's no flex spots, there's no channels, there's no points for failure or water entry. Instead, one piece, it's covering your bed rails, it's covering the tailgate, and it's even tucked up really nicely to the cab here. So you're not gonna get any water in your bed with this guy properly installed. Secondly, protection from thieves. Well, listen, a cover like this is obviously gonna pass the knife test, but again, since there's no flex spots or weak spots, there's no points for entry, it's gonna be very, very hard to defeat this thing, even with this thing fully locked up. So I really dig it from a protection aspect. Secondly, they just look pretty cool, right? A very clean look. This thing's designed great, fits the bed well, and I even like how they've added this little kick up in the rear, kind of gives you a little bit of a mini spoiler for your truck. So digging the look and digging the protection. Now as for your basic operation, well, it really couldn't get any easier. I know I said that about a lot of our covers in this video, but there you go. With the cover fully unlocked, lift it up, and your included struts will do the rest for you. They do also include a nice little LED light for you under here, a strap to help you pull that thing down, but what you see is what you get, guys. And this kind of brings us to our one big con with a one-piece hinge cover like this. Now sure, you do get full use of your bed underneath the cover itself, but if you need to haul something big, a couch, a dresser, something like that, that's gonna sit above the bed rails, well, as you can see, your space is kind of limited. Now you could pop the cover off. In fact, Undercover actually kicks in a wall mount for you, some hardware where you can remove it, hang it on your garage wall. But if you're at a garage sale or something with the wife and she spots a couch or something she really just has to have right then and there, well, you're kind of out of luck. However, if you get into something like this and you kind of know your limitations, well, you're gonna enjoy years of security and years of dry use with a one-piece hinge cover like this. Well guys, that's gonna wrap up this installment of What's Up With That Bed Cover Edition. Now, certainly hope you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed knifing up that poor soft cover for your enjoyment, but hey, if there's a product or category you want us to cover in the next installment, feel free to drop us a comment below. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you dig what you see, but for Staying Behind the Lens, I'm Justin, we're out of here. Thanks for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.